Alright, back for our first match. We had to mulligan our opening 7, but I'm going to keep this, and we're on the play. Puzzle Knot, I'm going to... Not sure what I want to do with that, actually. I think I'm going to keep it on top. Puzzle Knot's a pretty good turn 2 play, because it sets up, you know, finding us a land or an extra ramp piece or whatever. In this case, we do need a land. Drop it. Land, and I don't think I want this Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Keep the land, obviously. Stromkirk Condemned, alright. Some kind of vampire aggro deck, perhaps. Let's play the Caravan. Gonna madness out Voldaran Pariah. Okay, fair enough. Okay, land was not bad. I guess I'll start with Glintness Crane, in case I find a 3-mana artifact I'd rather play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our Colossus currently costs 4 mana to put into play. Could take Archive. Let's see. Next turn I can play Archive. And then I can have, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 mana in play. So I can just play multiple Colossuses, but then he gets to Voldaran Pariah me. Assuming he has 2 other creatures in play, but I do assume that. I think I will take the Hedron Archive, though. Let's play Prism. Another Condemned. Discarding Haunted Dead, that's interesting. I'm just going to take the 7. I could jump the Crane, but I'd rather keep it around as a body to sacrifice to the Pariah. Ether Hub, okay. And let's play Archive. I have to figure out what I want to do with my Sanctums here. The best way to play around this Pariah flipping. I can go get a Colossus and a Deep Fiend. It's interesting. One thing to keep in mind is I can crew my Caravan to pay for, you know, the sacrificing on the Pariahs. It's gonna be tricky. I could go get Filigree Familiar. I have 4 mana open right now. I can get Colossus and Filigree Familiar. Play the Familiar, then play Colossus. Also have to keep in mind we're getting hit for 6 in the air here. Definitely going to play the Colossus. Let's not sacrifice this Sanctum yet. Let's sacrifice this one first to give my opponent less information. Drowner, not going to have enough time. Deep Fiend is kind of problematic also, because if I'm forced to sacrifice a Colossus, I won't be able to emerge it. So let's see. This Metalwork Colossus is going to go into play. If I play my familiar, he's going to respond by flipping the pariah. How bad is that for me? I guess not that bad. I think I'm going to go get Colossus. This one. Might have actually wanted to sacrifice the other Sanctum, so now I kind of want to play the familiar first to force his hand. So now let's play Colossus, trigger. Let's go get the familiar. 1, 2, 3. Play familiar. It's assuming, I assume he's gonna, in response, Haunted Dead and activate his pariah. Okay. So that happens. So that ability is going to happen in response to the trigger. I'm going to crew my caravan. Sacrifice 1, 2, 3. Draw a card. Or gain 2 life, rather. And then we're going to pass the turn. I mean, as the board sits, we are winning this race barely. We're going to take 6, and then next turn we're going to activate our Colossus, sacrificing Filigree Familiar. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But we're actually 1 mana short of casting Colossus, so... Interesting. That happens. Also keeping in mind that it gets back a couple chump blockers. So we are still going to need to draw something good. Elder Deep Fiend, that kind of qualifies. That was a very good draw. Let's play land. Get an energy, which is irrelevant. Let's attack with our Colossus. It's just going to take it. That's fine. And then pass turn. Gonna madness in another Voldaran Pariah. Okay. That's kind of problematic. So I guess on his upkeep we're gonna have to do this. Merging away Filigree Familiar. Tapping all his dudes and land. I guess tapping the Condemned doesn't do anything because he's just going to get to Haunted Dead to get back a blocker anyway. So those 2 flyers and 2 lands makes a little more sense, I guess. Him getting to flip another Abolisher is problematic for sure. the ideal draw here is probably Aetherworks Marble. Undead comes back, he's just gonna sacrifice his, flip his Pariah now. Prized Amalgam. Yep, can't do anything about that. In response, I'm going to... Do I get back Colossus? Does that even save me? I'm going to have to lose one of my artifacts, and I don't think I can afford to do that right now, so unfortunately I just have to let that resolve. Oh, we drew Marvel. That's exactly what I needed to draw to not die. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Marvel. We're going to sack our Puzzle Knot. Trigger Marvel, trigger Puzzle Knot. Another Marvel and Inventor's Fair will push those. Guess we'll use the Marvel now. Ooh, okay, we hit some stuff. We can Ulamog. Let's see, we currently have 10 mana worth of artifacts. We get Ulamog, we tap those two, and then he has no cards in hand. And then we trigger Sanctum, and we go get Drowner, and that should win me the game next turn. Alright, that sounds like a plan to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep. Choose cast. Okay. Cast. That was the exact sequence I needed to win, actually. Sacrifice Sanctum to go get Drowner. Even trigger a Marvel, because why not? I'm pretty amazed. I thought for sure I was dead. That was like my 1%er to win. Draw exactly Marvel and hit exactly Ulamog. And he scoops, yep. Alright, so sideboarding against Black Vampires. Engulf the Shore seems pretty good. Aether Meltdown might be decent. I think I like Filigree Familiar, and then I like Deep Fiend. So let's see if we can do this. Cut the parts. What else do we want to cut? I like all of the artifacts. Maybe like 1 Colossus. What else? What else? We're not going to have time to do like any of our, most busted engine stuff, so maybe we just trim on some pieces. 1 Marvel. Deadlock Trap maybe is too slow as well. We can cut one of those, especially because we're going to be trying to play Familiar on turn 3 rather than a non-creature spell. So I like the sound of that pretty good.